8.7 million of our children have lost their lives to abortion.
Hello everyone. I've invited Ruth Rawlins of Abort 67 to the studio to talk to us a little bit about their UK tour. Some of you may recall last month that we showed a short video of their display in Parliament Square, and since then they've been very busy. So first of all, Ruth, very welcome to the studio. And
thank you. Lovely to be here.
Well, thank you. And you've been busy. So last week, Thursday and Friday, tell us what you've been up to.
Well, we've been taking our Awakening tour, which is our banners to reveal the truth of abortion. And we've been taking this around the UK. We're going from city to city, and we're basically educating the public on what we believe is our blind spot. You know, we believe every generation has had a blind spot, whether it was the transatlantic slave trade or child labour. And at the moment, abortion, we believe, is our generation's blind spot.
So you're going from city to city. So last week you went to Leeds.
Yes.
And you went to York. In the past, you know, last month we showed you were in London. So where are you going next?
Well, we're going to Birmingham next week on Friday evening through to Saturday. We're going to be doing a presentation in the evening just to explain a little bit more about what is our Awakening tour, what is our strategy to make abortion unthinkable. And then the following day, on the Saturday, we're going to be training people up and equipping them how to be advocates for the preborn.
But you mentioned people. So in York and in Leeds, how many of you were there? How many of you from Abort 67 and how many volunteers were there that were sort of local to Yorkshire?
So we did two displays, one in Leeds and one in York. In Leeds, there was 6 of us that travelled up from over the UK as a team, and we had it was smaller in Leeds. There was 2 that came out that were from Leeds locals. In York, we had a handful that came out as well, and we were just. There were 2 totally different displays. Okay,
so tell us a little bit about your experience at this display or these displays.
Well, so we knew from going up to Leeds that when we promoted this display, this public education display, there was a group that had also made an event on Facebook saying no to anti-abortionists. So they didn't want us, saying we don't want you in Leeds. And it was kind of a whole freedom of speech issue, you know, trying to shut down and give us no platform, even in the public square, in the street. And so they created this group, and lots of people were going. So they were expecting much more people to protest against us than we were expecting. And so we were expecting to have lots of opposition out. And normally they cover our banners and things like that. And they didn't disappoint. However, we found that it was much more peaceful than we expected. And it's because I think these people in the media, lots of these newspapers, they're promoting anti-abortionists, or they call them anti-choicers, as if we're evil, as if we hate women, as if we're hateful. And when they met us, so they came out expecting to see a whole load of people full of hatred. And when they met us, I think, some of them softened.
Okay.
And so that was really beautiful to see. Some of them still stood there with their banners and trying to cover up our images. But, we had instances where some of them even hugged some of our volunteers, and many of the local people and students who were passing by were engaging and opening their minds.
And I think you brought with you some video footage of some of the reaction that you had. So should we show the first one?
Yeah, so this first guy was Charles. He was just going by. He wasn't with those that were protesting us. He was just a student going by on his bike. He saw the commotion. He saw those protesting us, which actually drew more attention to us. And he just was a great guy who was really intellectually honest and was able to discuss. Okay. So we can just play a little bit.
I think that what's impressed me most about this is that how well thought out it is and how well it's presented. I think what really has gotten to me is sort of I've put forward my arguments, and you've been able to respond just here and now and give me something to think about, and potentially change my mind about how I view abortion.
Was that fairly typical then of people who sort of change their mind? I mean, it's that sort of thing that makes it worthwhile, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, sometimes, normally when people have had deep-seated beliefs for a long time, they're not going to do a 180 degrees and go away saying, I'm totally pro-life now. And that wasn't the case with him, but he had changed his mind from being, it's literally just a woman's choice, no one can tell them what to do, and he was very intellectually honest. Mm-hmm. And as you heard him say, it was like he heard that we had arguments. Whereas the other side, those that came out and those that are supporting abortion, mm-hmm. they tend to only have slogans.
Yes.
And so I think he was a guy that was just glad that we could engage, and we always want to take the subject back to, when does life begin? Mm-hmm. And is it ever okay to kill innocent human beings? And he was very honest about that.
Absolutely. And we have another example of a lady this time, don't we?
Yeah, so
Megan?
this lady, she'd actually come and was listening to my conversation with Charles, and I found out afterwards that she told me that she was a student journalist. So she wanted to she said that I was coming out unbiased. I wanted to come out unbiased, but she had also actually said afterwards, she said, I did want to be against you guys. I wanted to be against the anti-abortionists because she felt like that she should be. And it was the same thing again, that they had slogans, we had arguments, so yeah.
So let's take a look at this short video.
I'm Megan. I'm studying at the University of Leeds, and I am a journalist student, so I thought I'd come out here. I was going to kind of remain objective, and I wanted to see what the protest was about and what the awakening talk was about. I've been really surprised in how I've actually come to understand, made aware is, I think, what has happened. Like, I've become aware of things that I didn't know before, some statistics that I wasn't thinking about, things that I just wasn't, I guess I was a bit blind to just not want to listen to what the facts are, what's out there. I think it's interesting to see both sides, and I think it's important that both sides are here. I actually think it's this whole freedom of speech thing, you've got a right as much as they have a right to kind of argue. But I think what I've really taken from this is how the Awakening Tour has just kind of been confident in that they've just stood there and waited to just not, I wouldn't say it's been pushing on me, pushing opinions, but just having a debate, and it's been interesting, really interesting. I found it really, yes, I've been awoken.
Well, it's wonderful to hear that, isn't it? That kind of testimony from somebody who's sort of come and they've sort of been, impressed by what you've said. So if somebody did want to get involved or volunteer, can they get more information? Where can they go to find out?
Yeah, definitely. They can go to our website, abort67.co.uk, and they can also email us at info@abort67.co.uk. And as we said, we're going to be in Birmingham next week, Friday and Saturday. So if you're in the area, you want to join in, we will equip you to come and share the pro-life message on the streets. And as I said, we'll have a presentation and training before we go out, so you can come to any or all of the tour. And moving forward, we're going to be in other cities, so to get in touch now to find out when we're coming to your city as well. Oxford, Cambridge, we've got lots of cities coming up. And the people can also donate, obviously, as we can imagine that this costs money to travel all around. So if you can support us financially, that will be amazing. And, this is a spiritual battle, so pray for us and pray that we really can awaken the UK to the reality of what's going on, which will be the first step in making abortion unthinkable.
Well, Ruth, thank you very much for coming into the studio and sharing with us.
Thank you very much, Shadow.
Okay.